There we go. Okay.
Okay, got it.
Lay it on me, Jacob, please.
Okay, I gotta tell you about this. So, me and Nick, we had to do media training to Atlantic,
Mm-hmm.
right? And we had to meet up with this woman, right? And she knocks on Nick's door, and she's like, I open the door, and I'm like, "Hey, I'm Jacob," and she's like, "I know who you are. I know everything about you." I was like, "What?" And this woman's job was to do all of this research like on us, and she delved deep into us. Like she read every single interview, she read like every review, and she listened to every interview, like every podcast, and she mentioned yours. She was like, the one that you did was incredible, and it was such a great interview.
Oh
And this
man.
woman is her name is Jan, and she's one of the founders of Cream magazine and
Ah.
the Rolling Stones. And like, she have you ever seen the movie Almost Famous?
Yes, I have.
So
Quite a bit ago.
okay, so all the best lines, those are her lines. She came up with like all those. So a living legend, a living rock and roll legend, listened to your podcast and she loved it. So
Wow. Well,
yeah.
that is an honor.
No, I mean, you're a talent, man. I
I
just have to.
appreciate it.
I had to say that right off the bat. I had to get this in there because I needed you to know.
I love hearing it. I do. And that I love to hear it on this episode, especially because this is the 100th episode, Jacob. This is it. This is the 100th one.
Number 100.
Number
Let's
100.
Go!
Yeah.
How's it been feeling?
It's been good. It's been really good. I'm so glad. You came on like the 19th one. When I first started
you've been on a roll.
I've been trying trying to reach out to Cream, trying to get people to listen to it. I mean, I'm obviously doing something, right?
Yeah, you're doing it great, man. Doing a great job.
I really appreciate it, Jacob, and thank you for coming in and sitting down on the 100th one.
Oh man, thank you.
This is it. This is
sweet.
This is the big times now. Okay, you know it. Cream magazine writers are listening to it. I mean, stuff's happening. We're moving.
Oh yeah.
We're moving stuff here.
Love it.
It is a pleasure, and I love the sunglasses, man. I mean, we were talking about the microphone before we started recording, but the sunglasses are amazing.
Oh, thanks. They're very widow killer sort of sunglasses, I guess.
Yeah, they look awesome. I really like it. You're a true rock star, you know.
Oh yeah. Always wear your sunnies during an interview, right?
Of course. The other night, my mom came into my room and she's like, "Hey, do you need a water?" And she had sunglasses on. I said, "All right, party guy, you know, like, what do you? This is like 11:30. It's like, what are these sunglasses doing on? It's dark in the house, you know." Everyone's kind of
right now too.
I mean, it's a new style. I'm just not hip to it, I guess.
No. Just wear them inside, you know.
Mm-hmm,
they worsen your eyesight.
But you look so cool,
you look
though.
Good. Yeah, but you look good, you know, doing it.
Everything costs something else. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Anyways, but the 19th episode that we did, that is still the longest one that I've done, which is just, and I loved every minute of it, and I'm gonna love every minute of this one.
Oh yeah, we're talkers, man.
Yeah, we just like to chat it up.
Yeah,
chat away, if you will.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, that was like 2 years ago.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn, that's crazy. I thought that was like a year ago, but
I think it was like
flies.
Maybe a year ago. You know what? Let's just say 2 because it sounds better.
Yeah.
All right. It sounds better for the other media people to come and listen to this one. Like, oh wow, this guy's got a lot under his belt. So yeah, we'll just say it's like 4 years ago now. So 4 years ago we did the 19th one. No, but it is a pleasure. 30 years ago. Yeah, I've been doing it for quite a while.
Back in the good old days, you know, when you were a little lad.
pre little lad days.
Yeah,
pre little lad days. No, but it is a pleasure to have you on, sir. It is always a fun chat with you.
Yeah, man.
And always a fun show to see you at. I've seen you guys quite a few times when I was quite a wee lad, I said,
Uh,
these guys, I'm gonna get them on the podcast. And then
you're in, I might be wrong, Pomona?
Orange County,
Orange
close,
County. Okay.
close,
Word.
very close, very
Very
east
close.
Orange County. So I mean, like
Yeah.
we're right there. Yeah, we're just down the street from each other, Jacob. And I've been going to LA recently. I was like, you know what? Maybe I'll see Jacob somewhere cool, somewhere hip, somewhere, you know.
Don't tell me you saw my ass somewhere.
No, I did. I would have said hello. We would have chatted. It would.
Okay,
I would have done
okay.
an on the spot interview. Yeah. No, I
I'm
like.
always. I mean, I've always. I'm walking off Sunset like all the time. So
Yeah.
if you were driving by, you'd probably see me.
Yeah. I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I was like, not now. He's buying new sunglasses. I can't. I'm not going to disturb him. He needs to figure these out. This is
I
important
actually
stuff.
buy sunglasses like once a week.
That's
It's actually kind of insane.
wow.
I keep losing them or breaking them. So I'm always just like, well, I got to go get some sunglasses.
Yeah.
Or if I see them, I'm like, I got to get some. If they're interesting enough, I get them.
If they speak
it's
to you.
funny. So like every week I get it, but I probably only have like 4 pairs.
It's in rotation. They're in rotation.
Well, they keep getting lost.
Well, I mean, it's just out of your rotation into somebody else's, and then somebody else's comes into yours. It's a whole cycle.
Yeah.
No one owns anything. It's just.
I kind of have like this like theory, or not. Well, it's like a philosophy where, I've been buying a lot of records, like so many records, and I'll even buy some expensive records, and I take it out of the wrap, and I'll be a little reckless with it, and I kind of am like, everything lives and everything dies, so if this is the last run with with this item, it's gonna end with me, which is okay, but it'll live like a long life.
Yeah, it got a few cycles around the sun.
Yeah, and then maybe
if it ends, it ends.
Someone, and then maybe it ends up with someone else. Like nothing is forever. So you enjoy your records, and then you're like, you know what, I'll give it to a friend. I'll sell it because I'm desperate for cash.
Discogs, sure.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm like, I just feel like you could just everything just happens for a reason. I actually lost this oh my god, I lost this Grateful Dead lighter. It's a Zippo, and on it says like 1988, and I was like, oh, this is like an OG one. This like lady in like Hollywood sells like a bunch of random stuff, but she has all these like old Zippo lighters, and she's like $80. And I was like, what? Okay, I'll buy it. I bought it, and then I lost it at this music festival. Fell out of my pocket. I look up, just Grateful Dead lighters, and it was on there, $300. But I had a good run with it. That's how I look at it. It fell out of my pocket. Fell out of my pocket for a reason. It's a $300 lighter, as it turned out. But I'm very lucky and fortunate. I had it at least once.
Sure. That's the important part. That you had it and you lost it, but that's just another lighter will come into your life, and then it's like, oh man, look at this lighter.
I bought a Rolling Stones one.
I mean, that's pretty good.
It's not as cool, but I mean, it'll do the job.
Sure. I see that you have a lot of fascination with the Grateful Dead. Is this true? Am I correct in my assumption?
Yeah. So yeah, Noah Cole, who plays in Surf Curse, he's a huge Deadhead, and I liked the Grateful Dead, and then all of a sudden we all were nonstop listening to them. There's like this one tour where we were just like every single day, like, we gotta listen to like a 77 set. We gotta listen to like, let's try like a 91 just to see how it was, And it was, and after that, especially like during the pandemic, I was absolutely fixated. And I think about the Dead once a day, because they have very much like the best philosophy of like what being like a band is, which is just like playing for people who get it, and then playing with like heart and like great intentions. And it's like that's why people fall for it. That's why people follow it. Like it's such like it really has the cool thing, because it's like the best thing about the Dead is it's like they spread the gospel, like they play like folk music, they play old, older tunes, and they revise it in their own way. And it's they're still getting the message out, they're still like, and they're showing it and they're sharing it, and like people are getting it and taking it in. And if you go to like even like a Dead and Co show, they do this thing actually in South Pasadena. It's a LA, it's called LA Dead Night, and they have like different cover bands like come in and play, and it's just the best vibe. Like it's always the best vibe. It's always like so great. It's just like you don't feel alone, or if it's like your first show or you're trying to like listen to it or whatever, you kind of can find those moments where you're like, okay, I kind of like this. I kind of get this. It's very much a freaky vibe with some Deadheads, you know, but there's also some like really cool heads. Like there's not pretentious people. There's people who like just let you right in. And that's another thing too, is everyone has their own journey with the Dead, you know. Like I'm talking about it with you right now, and this might get you curious, and then you have your own journey.
It's
So
true.
you
I
do you
have I've
do you listen? You
I'm not like
dabble.
yes, exactly. I'm
Yeah.
a dabbler. I had a very good friend, and his name is Josh, and he was, I mean, maybe he's still in the phase right now. He was just really into it, and I was hanging out with him a lot, and he played like all these different Dark Star performance, like live
Yeah.
performances.
Oh yeah.
And we just drive around and listen to it. It was cool. Like we connected on that. I mean, we connected with a lot of music, and but yeah, that was a point that I was listening to him a lot. My brother got into him a lot, or to them a
Wow.
lot rather, because I mean he has a Volkswagen bus, so that's like you
Oh,
gotta
he's freaky, man.
you gotta have a sticker on it.
Yeah, yeah.
And that maybe I mentioned this on the podcast before, but I'm gonna mention it now because it's the 100th one. Like, when is the next time I'll be able to do this? So the 200th one, I'm gonna mention it now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we'll see you for 200.
Yeah. My parents were taking a trip up to Northern California, and they only had like one cassette in the car, and they're like, all right, we need to get another cassette. And they found this Grateful Dead cassette that they only knew one song off of. And then by the end of it, they knew the whole thing. They didn't particularly like the album, but they knew the whole thing, you know? So
They
that
kept
was,
listening to it.
they
Yeah.
kept on listening to it. Yeah. This is like whatever, 93 or something like that, or 92 perhaps.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean,
Wow.
so my roots in the Dead are not that deep, but there's a lot of people around me that like it
Well,
a
this is
lot.
what I say. A Deadhead is born every day.
There you go.
I say that to anyone that's like not to a non-believer or someone, that is like, it's not for me. And I'm like, well, not yet. No, it's so sweet though. But I mean, just the fact that you can tell those stories. It's just like, that's just the effect that they have. Like,
That's
it's
right.
so, and it's weird because I can't say that. I can't have those kind of stories about like any other band. I mean, like, it's like, oh, I went to this show, or it's a very like, there's like very specific things, but then there's just a whole like lore that is out there about the Dead and about the Dead culture and Deadheads and all of it. Like,
Yeah.
there's a reason why people fucking follow them around. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. But like once you get it, it's like, oh yeah, I wouldn't want to trade this for the world. This feeling.
It's true. I haven't hit that point. Hopefully I will. As you know, I hang around with a lot of hippies, clearly, with hearing about the Dead a lot. So, that was as
Yeah, if
I
you
was
ever have
also
a chance to go see Dead and Co, you should.
I did. I've seen him twice. It was good.
You seen Dead and Co?
Yeah, twice.
Damn,
Once it was New Year's of like 2015 going into 16 or something like that, or 16 to 17. It was good. It was a good performance. It was good. I was there with my parents and my brother. that was a good one. And then I also went with my buddy Josh that I previously mentioned, and that was an interesting one as well.
Nice. That's so
Yeah.
fun.
I'm on the outskirts of this whole lifestyle, if you will.
You know, I I always I think a good way. I mean, did you watch the Grateful Dead doc, the Long Strange Trip one?
Is that's not the one with Bob Weir, or
Well, it's
no,
like no,
that's
not
the other
that's
one.
yeah, that's yeah, literally, yeah, it's literally called the other one.
I saw that one.
Yeah, that one's pretty good. But there's one. It's like a 6-part uh like a series where they just go over the history of the dead. But it's a really good way to like, you know, kind of, be like, oh, this is interesting. I didn't like know this before. Like there's
Sure,
things about like the dead that like make me cry. Like, the fact that they would play at like orphanages. They would like they had a whole section where there was deaf people and they had these balls, or like, oh, sorry, they had balloons, and so they can hear the music through the vibrations of the balloons. So they were like, so no one was being excluded.
that's
Everyone was being
awesome.
welcomed in, and then finding ways to like, welcome in people. So it's like holy shit, like who fucking does that? Well, now we got interpreters. We got like sign
They
language
do it, yeah.
interpreters,
They
which is
yeah.
awesome. I love that.
Have you ever seen that at a show, an interpreter?
No, I actually haven't.
I haven't either, but
I've
I know they're around. I just haven't
I've
seen it.
just seen like wacky fucking videos of like hip hop artists, and like they're just fucking dancing and fucking doing the whole thing. I don't know. I don't know a single sign language gesture, but yeah, it's
Uh,
insane.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. I've never seen it. I hope I see it. I would like to. I might be paying more attention to the interpreter rather than the artist. Maybe if I'm confronted with that, I'm like, oh,
Oh
well,
yeah.
okay. Yeah. It's gonna draw my attention. I say
Oh yeah.
I don't care what Drake's singing about.
It's a little bit of a distraction, but I mean, not a bad distraction.
No, no, certainly not. um, yeah, but Grateful Dead. Yeah, they're good in my book. I'm more of a Fish fan, dude. How about that?
No.
Does that infuriate you?
Are
Does
you
that
kidding
really?
me?
No, I'm kidding.
Okay, there we
I
go.
I don't know. I don't know one Fish song, but I know that people who like the Grateful Dead do not like Fish.
Oh my god, there's that really good podcast that's oh god, I forget what it's called. Analyze Fish, that's what it's called. And it's like the guy from Comedy Bang Bang, it's like Scott
Okay.
Ackerman,
Hmm.
and this guy Harris Whittles, who like died.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know about this
Yeah. He was.
podcast?
I know. Harry. Actually, yeah. He was really into Fish. Like he went to like a bunch of Fish
Yeah, and
concerts.
he's just trying to show. He's like, all right, I'm gonna play you a Fish song, and he's like, what do you think? He's like, that was horrible.
Was it like snippets? Like play like two
He's
minutes to
yeah, no,
five.
yeah,
Some.
exactly.
Okay.
He's like, all right, this is 7 minutes into this like 96 session. Trey was like fucked up on heroin at the time. So, but it's like this was like the moment where everyone in the audience was like, we're here for you, Trey. And then he got sober after the show. So here's like a highlight. And they play like 2 minutes, and then Scott Ackerman's like, all right, stop it. It's like, I can't take it anymore.
Yeah, I think I
Every
actually did
episode.
catch like an episode or two of that. Yeah, that guy Harris Whittles was very funny though. I did like
Oh yeah.
and like the few things that he did act in, and this is such like so like a niche kind of thing for people to listen. But he was a good guy. He was a good writer and performer. He was on Parks and Recreation.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
That's what
very
it seemed like.
funny.
Yeah, he
And
was
it
very funny.
yeah,
Good
and he
heart.
liked fish.
And you
So
like Fish, yeah.
he liked fish.
Which
What do you?
I still don't get. There's one, I'll send it to you after this, but there's one Fish song that I'm like, oh, this is nice, and then all of a sudden it gets bad. Like, and it's so crazy because it's like it's almost like they're intentionally sabotaging their own songs. But I'll send it to you, and you tell me the moment where you're just like, what the fuck?
I will. I'll be like, all right. I stopped it. I talked to Scott Ackerman about this, and he said, yeah, you can only make it through this amount, this portion of the song. So
Yeah,
I'll
that's all
let
you
you
can
know.
really do. That's all you can really do. It's a short. It's a short song. It's not long, but
Mhm.
You'll dig it until you don't.
Until you don't, exactly. What what artists or bands rather had a significant impact on the way that you view or make music? What kind of who were some like early on? You're like, oh man, like these people are really good, or what have you?
Early on in my life, or like
Early on, yeah,
early
early
on.
kind of inspirations into music.
Um, it's funny. Linkin Park was the first band that made me want to buy a guitar, and it was just like a dumpy little riff, and I was like, I want to play that. I need to play that, and I asked for like a guitar, and then I didn't even know how to play it, and for years it was like just had guitars and just pretend to play it, and I didn't know how to at all. But that was like the one that was like that like got me into it. Um, the Ramones, like that was like my all-time like favorite band from like middle school to high school. Like just like uh it had everything that I loved, like horror movies and cult films like during that time period, and they had all those references to that. They just were a cult band in itself, so I was just madly appealed. Uh but also like Roy Orbison and the Velvet Underground. Like Roy's very surprising. Like when I was in high school, I used to wake up to like in dreams every morning, and then on Sundays I would set my iPod alarm to Sunday Morning by the Velvet Underground.
Sure.
And it's crazy because like I've just been such a Lou Reed stand for like ever, and just like kind of like dropped off of Velvet Underground. Like every time I think about those albums, I'm like, ah, it's not as good as Lou's solo stuff. Lou's solo stuff is like the best, and like just in the last like year, I've just I'm like on the Velvet Underground tip again, just being like, oh shit, yeah, this is kind of where it's at also.
I
Like
shouldn't exclude this. This has some merit as well.
yeah, it's nuts. I mean, he's just such like a like Lou's such a it's yeah, it's weird because it's like all their solo stuff from the Velvet Underground is also really good. Like John Cale rules and Nico rules, of course. Nico's so goddamn depressing to listen to, but it's like so necessary in life to, have that. She's the ultimate like tragedy. But
Sure.
you know, you need, that's the truth. That's like the same thing with Lou. Like Nico is like the sadness of the world, and like Lou is like the ugliness of the world, where you can't ignore like what's in front of you. Like all of his lyrics are just like based in some sort of reality or a rock and roll fantasy. It's like a mixture of the two. But I mean, like like all those songs off of like Coney Island Baby, you're just like, fuck, what the fuck is this world that I'm like being introduced to?
It's Coney Island.
Yeah,
That's it. That's it,
Coney
baby.
Island
That's it.
Baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
That's it. That's a good album. Yeah. I
Oh, it's fantastic. Yeah.
I do like that one. What's the other one? The streets one
Street
with the
Hassle.
Street Hassle. That one's good. Yeah.
Yo, Street
And
Hassle's beautiful.
the one with the blue. It's like it's
Blue Mask.
the Transformer album, but it's is that the one?
Yeah, Blue Mask.
Blue Mask.
That song,
Uh,
they have a he has that song Women on there.
I was about to
I
say
love women.
that's such a good song, and I
It's
I
very funny and beautiful at the same time.
it's
It's like,
fantastic song.
I love
It's
women. They're the best things in my life, Like,
the
I'm
way
like,
that
what
he
the
sings
fuck
it
is going
is
on? And
very
I'm like, no,
interesting.
but I'm like, oh, it's like so sweet.
Yeah. Um, a a guest that has been on this podcast. His name is Brendan Seepy, and he has a great band.
What are they
And
called?
the band, it's Semi Trucks is the name of the band, and
Okay,
it's
word.
fantastic band. I really like him. He was like one of the first guests as well. Super nice guy. He was playing somewhere in Long Beach one time, and I was underage. I went to go see him, and I was at a bar, and they're like, "Oh, you can't, you can't be in here. You're not." And then he's like, "Oh yeah, no, he's in the band." So You know, you gotta.
Oh,
I
that's
was like,
great.
thank you, CP. I appreciate it. And then she's like, oh, well, you can come back when you guys have to play. I was like, all right, whatever. And so I just kind of like snuck in, and there was a tambourine on on a little footstool thing, and he's like, you know, pick it up, and I was like, all right, and then played Women. I had never heard the song, but I was like, all right,
Wow.
I could do this. And then I love that song because of that moment, and of course Lou Reed's.
What an insane cover to do.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's
And
fantastic.
you got to
And
jump on stage, and that's how you got introduced to that. That's so insane.
there wasn't a stage really. It was like kind of like even level, and everybody's kind of sitting around. So it's like
All right, so you
I
got up
wasn't.
in front of everybody, did the
I was just kind of
tambourine.
sitting there, just playing the tambourine. I was like, all right, but still,
Damn,
nonetheless,
that is so special.
yeah,
Jesus, I
yeah.
love that.
And that's from Brendan CP. CP, I love it very much. He's a good guy. Known
Shout
him
out.
known him for a lot of years now, and he's just a great guy. And go listen to Semi Trucks. It's great.
That, I mean, just that intention is just, it's such a good thing to do. Like I absolutely like respect that so much. You know, it's like whenever like the Clash fucking let kids in, they would sneak them in like at these like sold out shows. There's like footage of them like opening windows, and you just see a bunch of fucking, you know, punks just coming in like rats. But it's like, but you know, there's, yeah, it's always like such a tragedy whenever you have to, uh, when things can't be all ages, and the oh, you can't come in. It's so, that mentality is just so fucked up. That I had something similar, not as cool as that, but I mean, I like interviewed the band No Age outside of a bar in Vegas, and I punished them. I absolutely punished them. Like I just asked question after question, and then like really like did my research. I I like Nardwared them, but I didn't have presents to give them. It
Right.
was mad ridiculous. And they were trying to get me in, and they were like, he's a fucking kid. You can't come in here. And they end up just like going and like grabbing all of their merch and just bringing it over to me, and just like they just gave me like a bunch of free shit.
That's awesome.
And I
Yeah.
just had like they literally had like, I don't know if you know the skate brand America.
Oh, I do.
Okay, there we go. All right. But they,
I mean, when I'm not listening to Grateful Dead, man, you know I'm shredding, dude.
oh yeah, there
I'm
we
watching
go.
Baker videos. I'm
Oh yeah, there we go. They were Templeton No Age like collaboration shoes.
oh wow.
And so, and I had them on, and they just like, so I was just like decked out in like fucking shirts and like hoodies, and like fucking I had records just like underneath my fucking arms and stuff. And like it's funny, I keep finding the records. I buy like a No Age record like every single time I find one. I'm like, oh fuck yeah.
They
And
put on a great
it's still,
performance. Really good.
yeah, they're so good. I mean, they're one of the big inspirations for Surf Curves. Like,
I was gonna say because the drums and the guitar, it's just
yeah,
very stripped
anyone
down.
that could, yeah, because I mean, it's like, oh, if they can do it, then you can do it. And you know, it's like me and Nick, we never wanted to add anyone else. There wasn't anyone that like felt that connection. So the fact that those guys did it, it's like, oh, we don't need anyone else. We can just do this shit. You know? Which is like, it's I don't know, it's nice. It's funny. It's like we always got that we always got that fucking oh, you got your duo, your two piece, like the Black Keys. Like, nah, man.
No, like No
I like,
Age.
yeah, like No Age, like Jeff the Brotherhood.
um, yeah, yeah. All ages shows are very important. That's crucial. And the kids that want to be in there, they'll try to find a way.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes they'll get in there.
Oh yeah.
Which is great.
Which is great.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's like, oh man. The thing is though, it's like I can't. It's so different now for me because of just like going to shows and like being just too old now. And it's like it's like I'm not old, but I'm like too old to like go to some of these shows.
Yeah.
Like I remember
You're like you're the oldest guy there, but you're not old.
yeah, and it just feels weird. It's like I'm not gonna feel as much as these kids feel about this moment right now. And I got in for free somehow, and I can't dance because if I dance or something, I'm gonna hit one of these kids, and then I'm like, oh god, I'm like the big adult who just fucking like
You just pushed some kid down for no reason, dude. How dare you, man?
that happened to me at the Smell, where I was like, oh, it was like a reunion show of like one of my friends' bands or something. I was like, hell yeah, and I like shoved some kid because I was just so used to that, and it's been a while. And I shoved some kid, and the kid flew,
Oh,
and I was like, oh my god, I'm too old, and I stopped dancing and I walked away. I like went to the back and watched the rest of the show. I was like, that's it, That was like the one moment where I was like, I'm too old to, to do this.
yeah.
Like I was tempted. We went to see Turnstile at
Mhm.
Coachella, and it was the same feeling where I was like, even though I was like, oh, a lot of these people are around my age in this crowd, I was like, no fucking way am I gonna fucking do this right now. It's like it still does, it doesn't matter.
Those days have passed, huh?
I stand, I watch, I dance in my spot. That's it. I can't do the moshing anymore. There's no point to it. It's mad ridiculous. Like I was yelling at some people the other night. I actually went to go see Jeff the Brotherhood. And it was insane because there's a band that I haven't listened to in so long, and they just so happened to be playing at like a very small venue, and I was like, "It's gonna be legendary." But all the guys that were there, they were just like moshing and like running into people, and it's like I was like, I literally yelled at. I was like, "There's no one here under 25. Fucking stop!"
The target audience is just not. It's not in attendance.
I
Sorry.
think I affected someone by that. I think someone stopped. They kind of realized that they might have been too old for it. Like it's
Yeah.
not, and it was like, I mean, who am I to say? Because it's like this band hasn't played in a long time, so these people are like, oh, the band from my youth. But it's also like we're not we're not in our youth anymore. We're done. We're complete. We can just watch and enjoy this band. We don't need to fucking. What are you proving by running into a fucking 34-year-old woman who's just trying to see the band, that she used to love when she was younger? It's like,
Just trying to hang out.
yeah, just be a chiller. I don't know. I think I think the cutoff age is 25, and that's when you dance in your spot. You chill. You be a chiller.
Yeah.
Don't be the fucking fat dude in the fucking pit who is 40.
Yeah.
Still loving the hardcore shit. Like you don't
Mhm.
need no one needs to be
It's funny that you mentioned this, you especially, Jacob, because
that.
I have a story that involves you a little bit, indirectly, but you are a part of the story.
Love that.
The last time I went to go see Surf Curse, it was at the Garden Grove Amphitheater in whatever. Yeah, it was like January 2020.
That
So
was fucked up. That was such a fucked up show.
yeah. No, it was great. But I used to go to this coffee shop that was in this town, Fullerton. It was a very good coffee shop. I really liked going there. I went there a lot in my teens and up to my 20s until it closed down. And you talk to people at coffee shops, and I know these younger kids that went to this coffee shop, and they're very nice young people, younger people than I, not way younger, but young enough that they had more like energy and they wanted to do stuff. And I was sitting on the at the seats. This is an amphitheater for people who don't know. There's like outside seats, and there's one of those like kind of folding chairs things. It's very it's very nice. You can sit down or you can stand up in like this little pit area. And I see these kids from the coffee shop, and they're like, "Hey, come on!" And they're like at the front of the pit. And I'm like, "Nope, I'm good. I'm good here. I'm sitting down." And they're like, "Come on!" I was like, "Nope, I'm
Yeah, fuck that.
I'm all right. I love this band. I like to see them. They put on a great show. I've been at the front. It's fun, but I like to sit down." and it's
Especially if
good.
you're at the front, you're getting all of the
The brunt.
pushback from, yeah, exactly, from the back. So
Yeah.
so as much as you like being up front, this big sacrifice is feeling all the bodies hit the back of you. You have no idea when that wave is coming.
It is coming. That is
Oh,
happening.
it wipes you out. Yeah.
Yep. And I just end up sitting there like, come on. And I was just like, I'm good.
Yeah, and you never got up. You never went to the front.
I never went to the front, but
That's my boy.
other kids did, and it really caught on stage. I took a picture of it. I'll send it to you. It's
Oh
just
man.
like a wall of people
Oh dude,
on the stage.
I have such a PTSD from that fucking show. That was insane. Cuz it's weird cuz it's like I'm fine. I'm sort of fine with it, but at the same time it's so claustrophobic. There's a very nice uh respect between the performers and then the audience, where you're in your safe space. I'm able to move. I'm able to hit my pedals when I need to hit my pedals. Uh I have my own, it's like I'm in my own realm,
Mhm.
and I could do my best to be entertaining, and be, into the music. And when people come up like that, it just totally it totally not only takes you out of it, but it's just like you get such anxiety because it's like now people are bumping into you. Now people are like stepping over your pedals. So now it's like now you're just like playing to keep playing,
Mhm.
and it's not, the fun is gone and it's like sucked up, and now all you have to focus on is, perfecting the music in that moment, because otherwise you miss a fucking note or a chord or whatever, people are going to notice. It's not going to be as fun for everyone else. So now the pressure's on to like do it. And so like that show, all these fucking kids are like running into me and touching me and grabbing me while I'm like fucking playing guitar. And I think even at the end, I think it was for disco, like someone was like grabbing me and I was like, I missed like the last note. So it's literally like the last line of that fucking song is just me playing guitar, just solo.
Just yeah.
And it's just, you just hear chug chug. And that was the last thing because someone was fucking grabbing me on the stage. But but the thing is, like, as much as that frustrates me, like I know that is like the best moment that anyone could have in that crowd. Like the
Yeah.
fact that they were on the stage, the fact that they were like next to us or like as close as they could possibly be, it's like just so like intimate and chaotic. It's like, that's gonna be the most special moment that someone could get from one of our shows, which
Sure.
I love.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just there's the frustration of it, but at the same time, it's all worth it because
You give them something
it's a
that's gonna be a crucial moment
why
for
yeah.
them. Hmm.
Yeah, exactly. Like they bought the ticket, they got a good show, they got to do what they wanted to do, and it's like thank you.
And they bought their shirts. I bought a shirt. I bought a
Oh
tape.
yeah.
I
Oh
support.
yeah.
I was like, I gotta get these before the kids go crazy, insane.
Oh yeah.
Um, but yeah, and then I saw that and I was like, this is awesome.
Yeah, it was insane. I mean, like I the footage of it too. Like I've seen it. Someone actually, I don't know. Like I think it's like a yearly thing where someone tags me in it. I'll look at my Instagram DMs and it'll pop up, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, there it is.
And you go, yeah,
And
that's
it's
that
just
show.
so crazy. Yeah, I mean, like it sucked in the moment, but like watching the moment captured like that and like seeing what it looked like, it was like, oh fuck, yeah, that was epic.
It was crazy. It was crazy. And then you know what I did after that?
What?
I left and I got some coffee. I said that was a great show. And I sat and reflected on it. And I was like, that was a good show. Like an
That's so
adult
sweet.
does. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, More recently, I went there again. I saw Jizza
Oh,
perform
nice.
Liquid Swords in its entirety.
Whoa.
And I was just trying to sit there. And you know what? I'm kind of a grump when it's like that. I just like to sit down, and I was
Yeah.
like, let me just enjoy this. but there's this guy that was standing up in front of me, and he was just like
As they do.
dancing, like shaking his ass in front of my face, and like I would like turn to my buddy like, you see it? You seeing this? And he's like, yeah, it's funny. It's like that's what you get like for sitting there. That's your problem. That's your seat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's fun. It's funny. It's like it's always so frustrating in the moment, but especially like when we show after show after show, you just kind of accept it. And not only accept it, but it's like you can you're just like, all right, they're having their time, they're having their moment, they're having their time, you know. I get it.
This is like
This is
a 40-year-old man though, just like you know, I mean, like, and I'm
that's
not
what I mean.
excluding
Hey,
anybody from their moment, you know.
no, no, I know. It sucks getting the ass in the face, but at the same time, it's like a 40-year-old man shaking his ass at a show. That's pretty it's pretty ballsy. It's pretty legendary, you know. It's kind of
It
like
is.
it's like good for him, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, it's fun. It's yeah, it's still, I think the biggest problem is the fucking tall guy curse. The tall guys at the shows, you have to stand. All of us, for some reason, you're right behind them. Don't know how it happens, but you know, happened to me at.
They're gonna get you.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. And if you're
that
worried
happened to
about it,
me.
that's a magnet. Yeah,
Yeah,
you're subtracting it.
yeah, exactly. Well, actually, I never think about it. It just happens. I don't. It doesn't. It's not like what is that called? Uh, when you
Manifesting it.
yeah, I don't manifest it. It just happens, and I'm like, oh fuck. That happened to me at Pavement recently. I was like so excited. I bought like tickets for all my friends for a show that was coming up, and then they did a secret show, like a lot sooner. And I was like, oh my god, I bought the tickets as fast as I could, and ended up uh being like the guy who everyone's hanging out, and I'm like, I gotta go. And they're like, that the opening band's still playing. And I'm like, I don't care, I'll watch them. I just need a good spot, you know. And the good spot was tall guy in front of me.
It's a good spot.
It's a great spot. I was just like looking over, trying to see Steve Malcolmus, like just fucking peeking over his shoulders, like doing my best to get a little glimpse of the magic.
Yeah.
But you know,
It's
but
hard to
no one,
peek back behind the curtain sometimes. It's
yeah,
difficult. Yeah.
it's a little difficult. But you know what, man? No one's asked to be born in this world, and no one also asked to be born to be a tall guy in this world.
It's true. It's true. These are just words that are true.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people went to that show, that secret show. I hear a lot of stories about that. I go, man, I should have went to that thing.
Oh, the Pavement one.
Yeah.
Oh, I cried. Yeah, I lost it.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We could have shared that moment, but no.
I know. Well, they're playing again. They're playing a couple weeks, September. I think.
All right, we'll go. Me
Yeah,
and you, Jacob. Yeah. Yeah. And we'll just do an interview there in the middle of the what do you think about that one?
That'd be great.
We'll bring the mics. It'll be good. Yeah.
Yeah, just do like a little public little podcast, and that'd be great.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it was incredible though. They did this cover. Oh, man, I'll send it to you because it's like it's insane. I was they played all the fucking hits, and they played this last song, and I was like, what is this? This is so incredible. And it's like it's a cover of like a song from like the 60s, I think, 60s or 70s, and it's like a chant sort of song. It's very magical, and it was like the way that they did it. It was like the most beautiful thing, and I lost it. I thought it was so insane. So I recommend seeing them.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
They're kind of one of the best bands ever, man. I love them so much.
Speaking of playing good songs and whatnot, is Freaks the song that gets the biggest reaction every time?
Oh my god, dude! You
guys are TikTok famous, you know that, right? I can't open up Instagram without hearing a Freaks.
What's TikTok again?
Well, it's not gonna be around for long. We're gonna.
It's insane. I've been making God. It's so funny because I'm not. I like haven't because of everything. It's like I haven't been like that bitter, but like some of these shows that we just played recently, I've been a little like I've been a little of an asshole about it.
Disheartened by it? No.
Yeah, it's like, man, we played governance ball, and it was a good time. A lot of people showed up, but it was very much like influencer fucking bridge and tunnel fucking New York fucking TikTokers. Like everyone had their fucking phones out, and we were playing and playing and just playing like all these like new songs. Like they're mostly like new songs from the new record, and uh and then fucking played Freaks, and then like just saw people just fucking turn around and leave. But the absolute worst was in Helsinki, because we played this weird ass fucking EDM festival. Oh god, David Guetta was playing it. Like it was that kind of vibe, you know. We're the only rock band that was playing, and barely anyone was there. And then we started playing, and then more and more people started to come. But as soon as Freaks fucking went on, like all these people started rushing the stage, and it was like, oh, here we go, you know, like playing our hearts out, and then this is like it, which is great. But the fucking turnaround where like the song ended, and just like 80% of the fucking audience left, and we had one more song. We were gonna do disco, and 80% like left. And it was like, fuck me, you know. It's just like, because like and it's fine, you know, because it's like that song means a lot to people, and it's exciting, and it's like that's, oh, this is what popped off, you know. This is what you know, this is what's in the fucking TikTok videos, this is what's being slowed down and remixed or whatever, and they're witnessing it. And I get that, and like that's like either the gateway to us, or it's just the 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 influencer moment where they could say that they saw us and they saw Freaks, and then they can go. Which, mad respect to either or, you know. Like I'm not no one ever asked to be like the rest of my music. But as like a performer, you want to like, and especially like, I mean, this also kind of relates to like my my mentality of like Gap Girl shows, because I do that by myself. And it's like, how do I keep people in the room? You know, like that's like the best challenge of like trying to figure out like, all right, I'm by myself. I'm very vulnerable up here. How the fuck do I get these people to like relate to me? How do I make it entertaining for them to like watch me for 30 minutes up here by myself? Like there's no visuals or anything. It's just me giving myself up to it. And it's the same thing with like Surf Curse, where it's like, let's put on the best show, keep everyone's attention, you know, and bring them in, you know, and we're in this together. And so there's always that mentality of like we it's really fighting for the attention span. You know.
Yeah.
Not to be like all eyes on me, but it's like it's more like we're in this together, like let like be a part of this moment, you know.
Right. Right.
Because like I like it's a mutual thing. Like anyone that's ever bought a ticket, I'm like, thank you. I'm gonna put my best effort into it, you know. As long as you know, hopefully you get something from it, you know. So it's more on our parts than like anyone else's.
Sure.
Reno's Reno's definitely like my home. It's just it's just so it's just changed like so much. Like all my fucking friends, like they're all fucking getting kicked out of their places. It's getting mad gentrified. There's a big tax break that's in Nevada, where and because of the pandemic, everyone's working remote. So all the tech nerds, they're all fucking moving to these places where, you know, like Nashville and fucking like Tennessee and Nevada, you know, like they can be able to like, you know, save their money. And then because they're doing that, they're changing the environment. And not only are they changing the environment, but people are gentrifying the whole fucking place and making it hip and cool. And it's crazy. I've spent $200 for a room, living in a house. Radigan lived above me. It was like 10 people at one point, and it was like the best living experience I ever had. Everyone got along. There was never any problems with anyone. Uh, and I found out recently that like they just uprooted the house and they moved it, and they're now turning that into a like I think like a parking garage or like a fucking more apartments or something. And we had all these shows there. We had all like there was always something happening in that house, like all these great memories and moments, and all these house shows that were like surf curse house shows. Like even whenever we were like selling out shows like at the Smell or whatever, or like playing like Terragram Ballroom at the time, we're still playing surf curse house shows in Reno. So they were just like fucking crazy. Like it was just like always like these insane you know little moments. And yeah, it's gone. All the actual house fucking shows that I was going to, all the house places are gone. Like there's a place called Clark Lane Mall, which I lived in. I lived in the basement of that place for like a couple of months. That got torn down. There's a place next to it called Fort Ryland, which was like all the hardcore bands, they would play there. So all like the garage rock bands would play at one, all the hardcore bands would play at the other. They're both hot and stinky as hell. Both those got taken down.
And you were living, or you lived at these places
I lived at
for
one.
a time.
Yeah. So the first one I lived in for like, man, fucking like 2 years. It was great. And uh, this one, and then the basement one, I lived at for like a fucking year when I was like 21. And yeah, they're all gone now. They all got torn down. And so yeah, and it's just weird. It just sucks. Like, cause it's like I go back and just I run into these people that like I love and that I haven't seen in a long time, and they're just all kind of like bummed. Some of them like have moved in with their parents, or they're just living in like they like moved in with their spouses, even though they weren't like ready for it yet. So you can kind of feel the tension, you know, like that kind of vibe. But
Sure.
so they can afford it, and it's just fucked.
Yeah. How is it living in a house party house? Like what is
Oh,
how does the night, like if you throw something and a bunch of bands are playing, and then it's like, all right, there's probably a little bit of a party afterwards, but then how do you wind down to go to
well,
bed?
I specifically just have that DIY spirit ingrained in me because I was so suppressed, like in Vegas, not being able to see shows. I could not, in my heart and my head, be like, party's over. I'm too tired. This rock show can't happen. I'm like, this is happening. This is my life, and that's fine. And people are gonna come, and they're gonna have a great time. And I'm gonna see some people I do and don't like. And uh, at some point, everyone's gonna go upstairs. I don't care if people are hanging out outside of my room. It was like fine. I would come home sometimes at the house that I was living at, and didn't even know there was a show happening, and I wouldn't care. Like I just like walk and be like, oh shit, who's playing tonight? And like it was fine. I think like a lot of people it would kill them, like have to deal with that all the time. But for me, it's just so easy because it's like, you know, here's a touring band, they need a place to play. Here's our spot. Um, People are gonna come, they're gonna have a good time. It doesn't matter if I'm tired or not. Like I'm not gonna interrupt like a night that could be special for anyone, which I miss. I miss living in fucking punk houses.
What were
Actually, I
some
don't. I don't. But I mean. But it's funny. It's just like when I think about it now, I'm like, God, that's like my nightmare now. But back then, it was like never a problem. Like,
Sure.
yeah.
Right. What were some moments that you're like, oh shit, like that's crazy that happened at this house that I live in, that shows are being thrown at?
Um. Well, we were always worried about the floor breaking.
Sure. Valid concern. Yeah.
Every time we would play a house, like a surf curse house show, you could feel the floor kind of
Giving. Yeah.
like, yeah, giving in a little bit. And but I mean, like that, like, yeah, because those house shows were always like they were fun, but there wasn't anything that was like super duper like insane, because everyone was kind of tamed. Like everyone
Mhm.
was pretty chill. Um, yeah, it was like fun. That's kind of like, it's like I've been to. It's funny. I've been to like house shows. Like we've literally done like surf curve shows, like where we're playing these big venues and then play like a house show in like Philly. Just because like that's just like the cool thing to do there. Um, and
That's Philly culture. Everybody knows that.
yeah,
It's like
and
home
and
of
it
it. Yeah.
yeah, and it would be like it'd be crazy, like it would be like those would be crazy, but the Reno shows were always like fine. There's actually, oh my god, the first ever. I got another story. Is that okay to tell you?
Please tell
Okay,
me. No, I love this, dude. Yeah, I got the smile on. You said
okay,
as if anybody ever says I got another one, it's like, yeah, this is gonna be a good
okay,
one. This is
good,
gonna fall right
good.
in line. Please.
All right, so there's this. God, we play in a Rhode Island. Okay, and this is like the first Surf Curse tour ever, and it's like we played at this place called the Funky Jungle, and
Ooh.
we're staying in Boston, and then we're driving. We drove to Rhode Island, and it's just like this fucking nasty house, and it's like graffiti is everywhere, and it's like these fucking. There's this like guy. He's like, yeah, bro, like you fuck with like the OCs. I was like, oh yeah, they're great. And he's like, yeah, we're trying to be just like them, bro. They're fucking sick, dude, fucking like want to do like a 7-inch with them, man. That's like my fucking dream, bro. It's like cool. All right, they were playing that night, and God, I'm just trying to fucking like find some place that doesn't smell like fucking graffiti. And I go outside, and that same guy, he has like this, this cast on his foot, and we're like, what happened here, man? He's like, bro, dude, I was fucking like trying to take out like the door downstairs because it was like in the way. And it was like mad heavy, and I dropped on my fucking foot. And then like we tried burning it outside, and it turned out the door was made of metal, and I had a broken foot, like it crushed my fucking bones and shit. I'm like, this guy's a fucking idiot. And we play the show, and then I'm trying to find like I'm like, hey, we're supposed to get like paid out. Who do I talk to? And I got sent to like 5 different people, and they're like, oh, you got to go to this guy. Uh, and I find the guy, and he's just like spitting, like he's just freestyling, but in like the worst way possible. He's just like, I see you coming up the stairs, nice hair. Everybody's got that flair. Everybody wants rhymes. We do it all the time. And he's just like going off, and I'm waiting for him to stop. And he's like going, and then he just stops, and he looks at me. He's like, you guys made $75. And he's like, I'm fucking crazy. I'm fucking hazy. And he just like goes right back into it. And then we're
You
trying to
set him on a
leave.
new trajectory with that. He's like bucks. And he goes into ducks and something else. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's like it was so bad. And then we're like trying to leave, and then I just hear 7-inch, 7-inch. And like I turn around, it's the guy with the broken foot. Is like, bro, we gotta do a split, bro. We gotta do a split. We gotta do a split. And he like it's like coming over to us, and we were just like running away practically at that point. And then they started shooting off, I think, fireworks in the streets, and then we left. Like like immediately. And it's funny because I talked to like my fucking lady friend. I'm like, she like lived in Rhode Island. I was like, have you ever heard of this place? And she's like, no, never. And I'm like, I feel like it was like a dream. I feel like it existed for like one moment in time.
And
Because like
then
every time
it just went. Like,
yeah, it came and it went. I know, and
mhm.
it's like, I wish someone got to experience that fucking place too. So I could feel a little less crazy that we experienced something like so insane like that.
Perhaps the man with the broken foot, he's like, you know what? This is healed up. I can't be doing this anymore. No more moving metal doors or having people
Living in a house full
freestyle.
of fucking graffiti, Jesus
Yeah. And then
Christ.
that's it. Yeah. That's pungent. That'll stay. That'll linger for sure.
Oh
That
no,
scent.
it was so nauseating.
Yeah.
Like like God, I can't imagine like just people. I don't know. There's some people who are just like, this is a good idea, but they're like either 21 or just 29 and never grew up, and they're and just live like that, and they have no idea like what they're doing to their fucking body and their brain cells.
Who put out the 7-inch? Who was the distributor of that? Because you guys
Oh my
did end up doing
god.
that.
Yeah, we ended up doing that. Yeah.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah,
Oh
sold out.
god. I wish we did a split with that guy. That guy was fucking insane. The music actually wasn't that bad. It sounded like the OCs, exactly like them actually.
I mean, that's not a bad sound to have.
Oh no.
Love the OCs.
Oh yeah, they're like they're one of the best live bands ever.
Never seen them live, which is interesting.
Really?
Never. I've had
yeah.
everybody on besides John, and I've never seen them live. I will soon.
Oh yeah, you got it.
Yeah. Hopefully soon. I'm gonna catch them.
I haven't seen them. I've only seen them once, and it was at Woods' festival.
Okay.
In Big Sur.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like in the middle of the forest, and there's trees everywhere, and it was just like the best sounding show I've ever been to. Like even to this day, I'm like, that was probably one of the best shows I've ever seen. Like that, and now Devo is up on my list now as one of the best shows I've ever seen.
That's awesome.
But it was nuts. Yeah, they're incredible to see live. Just like always crazy. Like those shows are always gonna be crazy for fucking ever. Like it's nuts.
It's so odd that DOCs and Woodsist would merge together. It's an odd pairing, but
John Dwyer, he's kind of like his solo stuff and like other projects that he was in. Like he's kind of always been in like the freak folk sort of vibes. I mean, even like some of those OC songs, like if you ever hear like a psychedelic ballad, it kind of like falls into like what a lot of those Woods' bands were doing.
Yeah, there's more mellow stuff in there for sure.
Yeah,
especially
exactly.
in the early day. Yeah, earlier days rather.
Yeah, it's like oh, this is like they were definitely like probably the craziest band ever played at Woods' festival, but like it was so worth it. It was so good.
That's awesome.
Yeah, seeing a band in the forest is an incredible feeling.
That'd be fantastic. I've never experienced that.
Yeah, if you ever got a chance to go to the Henry Miller Library or something.
I hear about that. That's also in Big Sur, correct?
Yeah.
All right. I gotta check it out. I hear a lot of people are playing there, and it seems like a cool place to go to.
Yeah, hopefully it's not on fire.
hopefully not. You know, it's
been been hearing about a lot of fires happening over there, and it's like, oh damn.
Around those parts, beautiful part of the state, though, part of the country.
Oh yeah,
continent even. I'll go as far as that.
Oh my god, that drive is fucking amazing.
Yeah,
it's right around if you just take the coast. Oh my god,
really good PCH.
Yeah,
all the way up. Yep,
all the way up.
All the way up there. Are we there? Not past this, man. Up, further.
Even further.
Do you enjoy touring? Do you enjoy getting in the van? Getting on the road?
Yeah, but the older I get, the more it's like it's harder because I'm realizing this now more than ever that like I'm getting like fucking tired. We just did like we're in New York and then we did Europe and we played like only like a few shows and I was already like, oh, I'm done. like thank God we're going back. And we're doing like a 3-month tour and I'm just like, oh fuck. You know? Like I love being on tour, I love playing music, I love being on stage and doing the damn thing.
But
no, but it's just like I can just definitely feel it in my body though. That's kind of like the only thing I'm ever like really worried about. I don't mind drives. I like them, especially like because of the pandemic. And I like Current Joys. Everyone in Surf Curse is in Current Joys, except for me. So
I was gonna say.
So yeah, so like they all have done. You know, they've been back on the road, and I'm like, all right, put me in coach. Just like so desperately, just like wanting to do it again. You know, and I'm so excited for this tour, but like I'm also like, fuck, I like hope my body can handle it. Because I just turned 30.
It's gonna be a good test. Yeah, that's awesome.
Which, like I said, it's not old, but it's like, you know, you're definitely not as young and flexible like you used to be. So I gotta get into some fucking workout routine so I can get goddamn ready. You know.
Yeah, you gotta
moving and grooving.
You're gonna get like bodybuilder kind of
oh
muscle.
My god. Yeah, I want to be ripped like that. There's like some sort of new fucking like hardcore band, and it's just like all muscle dudes. I don't know what they're called. I know what they look like though. That's what I want to be. I want to be like fucking rippers.
Tight. Yeah, that's the new process for surf girls, gap girls,
Yeah,
everything. It's just
yeah, just
whatever you're into. It's
muscle.
like no, it's just gonna be muscle band.
Yeah,
That's it.
muscle. Yeah, I just want to be like a muscle daddy. I'll be okay with that.
Yeah, I mean that's not a bad place to be. Sure, yeah. This it's just a new trajectory. 30. So yeah, I'm in a new decade. Let me switch it up. Never
Yeah,
been this before.
yeah.
Yeah,
Why not? And then I'll get fat again. And it's fine.
it's fine. Then they get like really fat, and then it's like really
Oh my god,
obese.
that would be like, oh my god, that like my dad. He used to be a bodybuilder actually. Now he's a
It's
professional bodybuilder,
I'm
and now
so
he's
glad that we talked about this. Then it
yeah.
brought it up naturally,
Oh yeah, but now he's a professional fat guy.
which is also good. That's
That's
hard to do. That's hard to keep the physique.
that's my joke. That's my joke about him. But yeah, it's so funny. I think it'd be funny if I fucking just like out of nowhere just became some fucking meathead.
That'd be
for like
awesome.
for
Yeah,
like a whole year.
just doing eugenics. Have you heard about this stuff? Eugenics.
What?
It ups the testosterone. I keep on seeing it on TV. It's a big.
That's
They're
some
marketing.
Infowars stuff.
No. This is like Frank Thomas, like
Okay,
an
word.
old NFL player, I believe, is doing it. But he's like, "Have you tried eugenics?" And I'm like, "Are you saying
Oh,
nugenics?" Yeah.
oh, I've seen the commercials actually.
Yeah. I mean,
It's rare that I see commercials nowadays, but man, when I do, I really remember them
yeah.
because
That's
it's like
well,
my one moment. It's my one moment to see commercials. I don't have cable. The only time I experience cable is when I'm in a hotel room. Only time.
which is
So
good.
it's great. Yeah. I don't even I got YouTube Premium, man. I don't fucking no ads, baby. No ads for this guy. I like get sick to my stomach when I see a YouTube ad. If I'm like at someone's house and like I see an ad, I go, no.
Yeah. Yes.
But
Exactly.
I get it. It's expensive.
It is expensive, but it's
Worth
worth
it.
it. Yeah.
It's absolutely worth it. Oh
That
my
being said, I
god.
don't have YouTube Premium. I don't, but
I convinced I
it's you.
convinced my bandmate Henry to do it, and he's like, it changed my life. It's like the best.
There you go. I
Because
mean, I've heard
you
great
watch
stuff
things.
about it.
Not only do you watch things faster, but you also got that YouTube music. You can make playlists. You can
Hmm.
download things for the plane or for whenever you're on the road.
Yeah.
Great. I catch up on so much shit.
Mm-hmm. It's important. My brother has it, so I catch a little glimpse of like, oh, this is what it's like.
Well, that's what freedom looks like, buddy.
Yeah, that's it. I'm just looking outside of the outside of the glass right there. I'm peeking. I'm like, that's nice. That's really cool.
I wish I like didn't actually. Well, it's also like a curse too because I just end up watching because I have like a lot of free time. I just end up watching so much YouTube bullshit, and I'm just like, all right, I'll rewatch this again for some reason. I don't know why, but it's like it's a little embarrassing, honestly.
Right. I use YouTube for my music, so like that's where it really jabs me. Like, okay, I'll sit through this ad.
Well, it's nice because it's like you got like I mean, people just post like a bunch of really insane, obscure shit on there. I mean, it's like I mean, back in the day, it's like the Mediafire, Zippy Share, Blogspot, go to Blogspot, try to find like some fucking freak folk or some jazz or some fucking like ambient avant-garde shit, and you just like find like people have just like done vinyl rips of these rare records or whatever.
And you get
And
to
I just
listen
go
to
on
them.
YouTube and you can listen to it. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's insane.
it's very cool.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
What a
This
world.
this is actually the first sponsor I want. Yeah, YouTube. Thank you so much for. It took 100 episodes, but we're on it.
Thank you for not being gatekeepers. I will say though, this is kind of like the tragedy of like it's funny because it's like I think back in the day it's like you go record shopping, but then like back in like what my day is, it's like you just go online and you just like look up these blog spots and like find like you bookmark it, and there's people who just like keep posting these like albums that are just like so insane and crazy, and it's just like holy shit, like here's this whole community of people who just want to delve deeper. It's like you can either peek at Radiohead or you can keep going. And then you realize if you keep going, Radiohead's just okay, you know? And so that
Computer.
like
I
yeah,
sorry.
okay, there we go. Thank you.
I'm sorry. It was
Oh, I
there. It was
loved
sitting
it.
there. It was sitting there. I
I
had to
loved
swoop
it.
in.
I
Yeah.
loved it. That was
That being
good.
said, I did peek at Radiohead. That's it. Anyways, continue. I'm just one of those people. That's why
Well,
I'm
I'm
able
just
to
saying
make that
because it's
joke.
like some people are like they're the best band ever, and I'm like, they're good, they're fine, but like it's just like you can keep going, and I'm like, oh fuck yeah, like keep exploring it, and then nowadays, it's like it's like uh it's everything is so immediate, and it's crazy because it's just like I see TikToks that are just like Duster is like in the fucking like in the fucking like TikTok as like the sound, or like it's like, oh, have you ever heard of this artist? I'm like, holy fuck, they're talking about this person, like, but they're doing like someone's profiling this right now, so it's like so crazy. But as soon as something is in it, it goes out like so fast, Like the most insane thing is like I just released that Gap Girls record, and 18 songs, I sat on for 2 years, and then someone messaged me and they were like, when are you going to release more Gap Girl stuff? And it was like a month after that was released. And I was like, bro, I gave you 18 fucking songs. Why don't you sit and listen to that? It's so long.
Why
Give
can't
me
you
it. Yeah,
maybe
like,
just double up, re-listen to it, double back on that?
yeah,
That's
it's
yeah.
not like it's a short album. Like it's long and it's there, and you can just keep listening to it over time until, you get done with it. But after a month, it's like, that's it?
That's it, dude. Yeah.
I gotta serve you more music
Hmm. They're
after that
hungry
whole
for it.
journey.
They're hungry
I
for
mean,
it.
that's the flattering part. That's the flattering part. But it's like, it like, because I'm also, and that's the thing, is like I'm also the same way, where like I get obsessed with the record, but it's not as my obsession isn't as long as it used to be. When
Hmm.
I was like younger, I was like, oh my god, like here's this album. I'll listen to it for the rest of the year, and then and now it's like, oh, I like this album, and I like don't touch it, and I like only spent like a week listening to it. The only bands, like the most recent bands that I've been like I won't ever not listen to is like Palm and Spirit of Beehive, because
Hmm.
they're just so goddamn interesting, and it's unbelievable that like in this day and age people make music like that, because it's so specifically like just out of it's like alien, it's like out of this world, like it's like if you sent like a pop record out into space, and then aliens came back with their own version of that. It's like, okay, I
Let me
like
let me
this.
give it a go. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just a whole new way of like looking at things. But yeah, it's just, I don't know, it makes me sad about how we take in a lot of stuff,
Hmm.
or like not wanting to delve in.
So you're just gatekeeping. Okay. That's yeah.
I'm not gay. How's
Yeah.
that
No, you are.
gatekeeping?
Yeah. You didn't even mention you didn't even mention the bands. No, that's good. Let me ask you this: how many times do you usually listen to a song before you're like, I really like this song? Is it after the first listen? Does it take a couple listens, or?
The things that I like genuinely fall in love with are things that I hate. Like I'm like, oh, this is fucking, like, I'm like, what is this? And I'm like, and I have to like listen to it like a couple times. That's how Palm was. I didn't hate it, but I was like, I just didn't get it. But the more I listened to it, the more I was just like, Jesus Christ, it's genius. And they just like released like a new song called Feathers, and I like heard, and I was like, okay, I know I need to listen to this a couple times, and I trust that feeling. And I did, and I was like in my head, I'm just breaking down like why I love this, and I'm like,
Mhm.
this is what works about this song, this is what's very interesting, like like the progression, and like the way that they, everything's heightened up and then it drops, and I'm like, that's like, that is structurally like so fucking good, but it's like so out of the element of what everyone else does. And yeah, I just usually like some things, I'm like, if there's not like a, I'm really attracted to sounds, and I'm really attracted to hooks. Like I love melodies, I love earworms. So if I'm not like singing in my head after I heard it, I kind of drop out a little bit.
Mhm.
I can
Mhm.
respect it, but I kind of drop out.
Gotcha.
But I, yeah,
Are you? Are you the kind of person that has to write the music first and then lyrics will come, or lyrics first and then the music kind of fits around it?
Always music. I can't, like it's so weird because it's like I I make like a drum beat and then I kind of make it with the intention of like going for a walk, you know. So it's always like a faster tempo. At least that's what I try to do. Some sort of like steady beat or rhythm, and then I just start adding on layers and layers to where it makes sense. And then I go for a walk and I'll just listen to the instrumentals in my headphones and I'll just get really manic and just start singing in the streets and then I take out my phone and I just start writing down lyrics. And sometimes it like and it the weird thing is like sometimes I could do it pretty immediately and then sometimes it takes me like so long, but like by the time I do finish the long one, I'm like, "Oh my god, like this makes so much sense. Like I like this is what I needed to say. This is what this song was like meant for like this whole time." It's like I always look at it as like it's it's in the subconscious and whenever I like when I really feel it, you know, like like when I have the drive to want to finish it because I'm also like the kind of person that is like, oh, it takes me weeks to finish one song. It's like I become so obsessed. I like have to keep going with it. I have to like keep working on it. And like I'll have to leave and then come back because I need a break if I'm like if it's not flowing. Like or if there's like a stop, so like I'll leave and I'll come back and I'll keep working on it. And if I leave and the song is still not in my head and I'm not obsessed with it, then it's not worth it. I like drop it. But
Wow.
that's how Lost Honor was. Like I like wrote the song and just like fucking just went on a walk and was just like I just knew everything that I needed to say in the song. It was but it took me so long to get there though. Like I had the music and I was like I kind of know what I want to do, and then there's a moment where I was like I know it and just like figured it out. Like
There's a
just kind of
process to it. There's a process
yeah,
that you have to step through in order to get to the final thing.
exactly. It's like it's
Gotcha.
like it's like living your life or just kind of like thinking about like oh what am I going through right now or what was I going through? Where
Mhm,
was I at this moment? Like where am I now? And it just kind of falls into place.
mhm. Is it is it difficult to kind of break through to like even the beginning idea of something, like even to format like a rhythm of like walking, even like that, like to even get to that point? Is there struggles that you face before even reaching the point of like, all right, let me actually try to put this idea down onto something concrete?
It's not, every time I've tried doing that, it's always like I can't get there. It's like I'm skipping like ahead, you know.
You
It's
can't
it
force it.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like I know it's in me, and even if I want to get to point D or whatever, it's like I can't. I have to start from the beginning, or it's like yeah, like again, subconsciously, it's just like I'll be like, oh, I have this idea for this that's on the back burner, and I'll be making music, and then randomly that that one was for that, you know.
Hmm.
And I
Hmm.
was like, not even with the intention of that, but like, I it's almost like I trick myself into like making it, thinking that oh, it's off of impulse. I'm like, oh, this works now. I'm like, oh, that was it the whole time,
That's
you
a
know.
connection. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha. How often do fans come up to you and talk to you about a song and they say, "Oh, I really like it. It's about this," and that they're not it's not about what they think it is at all. Their assumption is off.
Oh my god. Well, it's funny cuz well, not a lot of people talk about the songs. Like with Surf Curse it's harder to talk to fans cuz we're just hiding out in the green room cuz there's just so, like it takes a lot out of us like playing these shows. Like emotionally we're just drained. And so to go out and like talk about what you just did or the music or whatever, it's like it's better just as much as like I know people like want to meet us and stuff. It's just like you, you, the headspace of that is just not great. We've been doing this for so long, and there's just been so many like encounters with people where it's like, you can't always save people, like there's always like, I mean, there's a bunch of like crazy stories about fan encounters of like, you know, them wanting something that like you can't give them, like they connect with you so much that it feels like they can be vulnerable and ask you for something, and you're like, I can't do that for you. I'm not. I'm just a guy. I'm just a person. I can't. I live my own life. I can't. I can't help you with your emotional issues, or like
Journey
doing
or
you a,
whatever.
yeah, or like doing you a solid, or like, just like any of those things. I don't want to be too specific because it wouldn't be fair, but yeah, but like because of those experiences, it's like in your head, like whenever you're after the show, you're like, I don't want to do that. And much respect to people who like come to shows and everything. There was actually one time where this kid, I will tell this, like it was actually recently. He waited outside the show. He wanted me to sign some stuff, and he was like, I gotta like, I have to wait till 3:30 in the morning to like get on my train to go back home because I traveled by train here. I was like, oh my god, dude, I thank you so much for coming. Like, he's like, yeah, I just wanted to meet you, and I was like, well, I appreciate that, and I like signed his stuff, and he just wanted to talk, and we were all like going to hang out, just friends of friends and everything, and I was like, I'm sorry, but I gotta go, and he's like, I'm like, I gotta go take my stuff back to the hotel, and he's like, can I walk with you? And I had to tell him no, because I
Yeah.
know, because I got the vibe like he was gonna like open up about something that like would have just been heavy, you know, on my mind. Because you know, it's like you want to be the person that could help them, but it's like the best that you can do is just give them a moment or give them a song that they can take in. But it can't go, if it goes further along that, then you just feel guilt, and you feel guilty that like you can't do even more for them, like because
Sure.
it's just people that just like they have that connection where they just like they feel like they can like, oh, they wrote this, I can relate to this, they understand what I'm feeling, and it's like like I I'm sorry, but like, you know it's it's too intense, which is
Sure.
it's a bummer, it's a real bummer, and but at the same time it's like, yeah, there's just like that fine line. So
Mhm.
I that's so to answer your question, like, yeah, it's weird because like at Gap Girl shows, people will like come up and talk. They never really talk about the songwriting, and then with Surf Curse, it's like we barely even are able to talk to the fans because we just kind of hide out and then wait for the crowds to die out, and then we end up leaving. And then the real ones, they stick around, and they just ask like how we're enjoying the city or something like that, which is like nice.
Yeah. That's good to get those local recommendations. You never want to be doing what
Yeah,
the tourists are doing. What do you do? Where do you go? That's
exactly.
the thing. That's a traveler's tip.
Oh yeah, that's what Noah does. He'll just find someone, and he's like, "Hey, where's a good bar that we can go to around here?" And then we go, and it's always great.
Yeah.
He always knows how to pick like the right person to ask to, like, you know
Oh, that's hard.
get us
The
somewhere
vetting
great.
process of that, that's a fine line. Yeah.
Oh, it works out most of the time.
Okay. All right. He's got a high percentage. I don't have the high percentage. It's just, and it's like I'm like going to like whatever Belize. I'm like, hey, where do you get coffee? Like I'm not. It's like it's usually like in like just like random cities.
Yeah.
In like California, not even like Iowa or something like that. I'm like, oh wait,
Oh
like what's
man,
the
I the thing is like if you give that bad recommendation, oh my god, dude, you become the villain.
your Recs are over. Yeah, that's
It's
it.
like,
You'll
this motherfucker told us to come here. What the hell?
yeah. It's oof. It wasn't a good look. It wasn't. That's not. That's not.
But
That's not what I was.
it adds on to the experience. When you think
That's
about like
true.
a city, you're like, oh, you remember how bad that coffee was? Remember when someone was hyping it up and it was actually pretty bad?
It sucked. um, when you perform songs that you've written 9+ years ago now? Because it's around 2013 that Surf Curse started, and I mean, obviously you're working on your own stuff before then.
Uh, no, mostly no, it was mostly Surf Curse stuff. That's
Mostly
like
Surf Curse stuff.
I start yeah, like I was only in Surf Curse, and then afterwards I was like I did Casino Hearts,
Hmm.
another like my first solo project. But yeah,
When
just
you, yeah. All right, I'm wrong. Okay, dude, I'll admit it. All right, I'm not the best interviewer. I just
oh no,
kind
you're
of get
great.
no, it's fine. It's it. I fucked up, dude.
No, you're fine.
Don't kid me. I could do hard time. When you when you look at these songs from way back then, almost 10 years ago now, Surf Curse songs, and maybe even, let's say, like 6 years or 7 years since like a Casino Hearts or Gap Girls or whatever, do those songs feel the same now as they did when you wrote them?
um, they the thing is no, but at the same time, it's like it's more of like a like oh thank God we did it because like when we wrote those when we were like 18 or 19, like we wrote those when we were 18 or 19, so like 18 and 19-year-olds, those early young adult like years,
Those kids
they're
in the
gonna
mosh
they're
pit, those
they're
kids.
gonna they're gonna get it and they're gonna relate to it and they're gonna love it, and it's like I mean we started playing I'm not making out with you like when we first started playing music again after the pandemic, and it was like it's like oh of course we gotta play this, like it goes so fucking hard, it's embarrassing, like it's very embarrassing to sing these lyrics that are so cheesy. I'm not making out with you because I think you're really cute or something, or because you always make me blue. uh it's like it's like it's so cringy to us being like as old as we are singing it, but at the same time it's just like you just got to do it because the people are gonna love it and enjoy it,
And they're
and it
expecting
is
it. Yeah.
yeah, and it's like oh god, the comments are so funny like on the newer stuff because it's like they peaked at buds, that kind of vibe.
I saw that comment.
Like we're fucking like 30, dude. What the fuck are you talking about? Like, or
That's
like
it, dude. You should have
there was even
stopped.
like a comment that was like, TVI is like going back to the Buds roots, which is great, and it's like, uh,
Yeah, how do you feel about that? I saw
right,
that last night. I saw that last night, and then like it was, oh, the current joys reference. Like there's just like they're looking like real. I know these people like really really deep within these things. Like that current joys reference is really really sick. It's just true, and
yeah.
that's so interesting that you bring that up. How do you feel about that? Do you feel like this, especially TVI, for example, which is a great song, and there's a great music video to that, and I'll link that in the bot. That'll be in the little link, so you can go check it out, and you can leave your own comment
Oh, thank you.
weighing in on that. However, before then, do you feel that sentiment? Do you share that sentiment with the people that you're kind of reverting back to that old kind of
Well,
sound?
at the my intention for writing surf curse stuff always, and it's the same kind of like philosophy from 18 to now. It's like I want to make people dance. What can get people moving? How do I entertain a crowd? How do I keep how do like what is going to make people like go off? So that's never changed. So if someone's like relating buds to TVI, that's good because if it goes off, then it goes off. Like all the like that's you know that's always been the intention. It's just like this newer record. It's a lot more of like an album. It doesn't feel like the intention is like how do we drive people? Like there's definitely that. That's why TVI exists. Where it's like that's gonna get people going. Lost Honor, surprisingly, when we were playing that live, it was going off. Like that was fucking crazy. No one's ever heard that song, and they were like, they found like I didn't expect it to, and I didn't write it for that intention of like it being like something that makes people move, but people are going off, and it's like holy shit, like that's like it's so unintentional, but it's always you. That's always been the philosophy though, is just to get people moving always,
Yeah.
because it's like that's why we like being like a live band, is because we can have that energy in the crowd. That's like what drives me with that project specifically. It's just like, how do we how do we transpose this for like, well, it's like what how do these songs work for a live audience before it, it's like the opposite way. It's like you don't, it's like, are these songs gonna work for the live, like the live shows
Yeah, yeah.
in
So
order
what is
for us to
will it
play them?
translate from studio to, yeah, or
Yeah.
whatever rehearsal
Yeah,
to
people are
live?
like, I got to make my personal album, and it's like, well, how the fuck do we make this next tour pop off? For the next, what are the songs that we're gonna bring to the table? And oh, is this gonna like catch on? Is this
Mhm.
gonna get people fucking like sweating?
Sure. Um, Last Honor, the one that it is Last Honor, right?
Lost Honor.
It's Lost Honor. Okay, well,
Mm-hmm.
we're just gonna have to scrap this whole interview. I fucked up. All right, we're gonna start from the beginning.
Stop it!
What
Stop it!
what did your media person say? You were saying something about Lost Honor. It was written from you to Nick. That was
Yeah,
kind of a personal song between you two.
yeah, it was. Yeah, I wrote that because we did this interview, and it was just just the questions were just so fucking annoying and intrusive, and it reminded me of this movie called The Lost Honor of Katrina Bloom, and it's about this woman who it's crazy. It's about this woman who's at a party and she meets this guy, and it turns out this guy is a part of like a terrorist organization, right? So like, just imagine you meeting someone and like absolutely fall in love with them like that night, only to wake up to fucking the police at your door breaking down your shit thinking that you're involved. And the whole thing is about like how the media and how law enforcement, like they just skip ahead, and they don't really care about you as a person. They care about the story. They care about like villainizing you, and like uh doing whatever is gonna sell, and it's like such a tragic fucking movie, and it's like so insane, and there's a really good payoff, and then it ends like in like the worst fucking way. But yeah, I wanted to write it because I was just like, I in that way, I was just like, to I love what I do with Nick, and I love the spirit of the band, and everything that we've always done has always been like with great intention, and to have a fun drive, and to entertain people, and to give memories, and yeah, it's just like a song that's just like, we're in this together no matter what, you know.
Mhm. With that being said, would do you guys think that you'd still have the same kind of relationship now if you hadn't been in a band for all these years?
I don't know. Well, it's crazy because our friend, I mean, we go back to like 13, we were 13 whenever we were like hanging out, 13 or 14. Um and we were best friends um for, I mean, before, like, in between. Yeah, we were like friends for like 5 years before we started the band, which is
Wow.
insane. The only We first met because he was a drummer, and then my friend was forcing me to play bass, and we were both the mutual friend, and then that's how we started. And then I got kicked out. But then years later, 18, 19, we start doing Surf Curse, and then yeah, our friendship's always been like best friends, and now when it's just like, it's like family. It's like the guy who I see all the time, and I love and I care about, and like, he does his thing, I do mine, and we will always have like that pickup, because we're always gone. He's always gone for like long periods of time with like Current Joy stuff, and when we reunite with like the Surfer stuff, it's like fun. It's fun and great again.
That's
But yeah, I think
awesome.
I think we'd still be really great friends. Yeah, he. The thing is um, he's always been meant to be this charismatic. I don't want to say star, but I mean like he's just kind of like the light of the room,
Mhm.
Like
Mhm.
everyone's mothing over the light, Like he's always had that. He like got like most likely to be on SNL in high school.
I mean, there you go. That solidifies it. That
Yeah.
I mean, if that doesn't say everything it needs to say right
Yeah,
there,
and he's like
SNL.
yeah, and he's so funny. He's like one of the funniest people I know, and he's so witty, and he's just crazy with his antics. It's like it's incredible. But yeah, because I kind of just it just made sense to do music for me. But I mean, I think him, it's always been the drive of like, you know, he needs to get something out creatively to and just and he wants to share it with the whole world. You know,
Sure.
I feel lucky that anyone wants to listen to, my shit. I'm like, oh, you like that's great. He's like, go for the fucking stars. You know,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Very nice. When you think back to those days, like back in Reno and even further back to like Las Vegas and before all this started, did you ever think like I'm gonna be doing music for the rest of my life?
Fuck no. Oh, I think I want to do music for the rest of my life, but not. I never thought I'd make money just doing music. Like that's insane to me. Like to be at the point where I am now and that wasn't even ever the intention. It wasn't like I want to be a big fucking rock star. It was like I was washing dishes and saving up money so I can be able to like go on these tours. I would take 14-hour bus rides from Reno to fucking LA to go play at the goddamn Smell, Like it's so insane. And I would be like, it's worth it. It's worth it just because I love playing music, and then I'd come home like and record like as much as I could in my fucking dinky little room,
Hmm.
and it'd be like, this is the life. Washing dishes and walking in the snow with wet clothes and coming back and you're and you only got 2 hours to record music until your roommate comes in knocking on the door, telling you shut the fuck up. Um so and it's like and it even like getting paid to play shows, like even like the lowest amount of money was always just so insane, you know.
Like you're paying me to do this? Wow. Like that's
Always, yeah,
it is
it
insane.
was always the case. And then when everything has just got like, I mean, it's so funny because I even look back on, we did like a short tour with Sad Girl in the Garden, just like a California tour.
Great bands
Oh
to
yeah,
be doing stuff with.
it's kind of it was like, if people heard about that tour, it's just like, holy shit, that's crazy.
That is insane. That's a good group of people doing that.
Yeah,
I
those
had Misha on, and he's anyways. The point being, no, I'm just kidding. I love you, Misha.
Oh
He's
yeah,
a great guy in
I
the
haven't seen him
garden.
in so long, but we used to fucking hang out like all the time. But he's kind of doing his own thing, I guess. I don't know.
He's doing sad girl stuff. I saw him at a show recently. I said, "Hey, how are you?" He said, "Good." He's wearing a sweatshirt. We chatted for a minute. It was very nice. Very
Yeah.
nice moment.
No,
Yeah.
he's a sweetheart. But yeah, that fucking tour was insane. But we were just driving around like, I think we even slept in the car one night. But it was just like, wow, this is crazy. We're playing all these fucking shows and like doing the touring thing and like only in California, but this is cool. Like just uh, it's like it's pretty sweet and just like we definitely like didn't get paid that much, but it was so worth it.
You're hungry for it. You're hungry.
It's just hungry to play. Yeah,
Hmm.
more than anything. It didn't matter how much we were making. Like as long as we could come back home and live our lives, I then it was fine. But yeah, it's just crazy. I don't know. Just all the build up and the hustling and stuff. It's all paid out.
The grind. Yeah.
Yeah.
The daily grind. As you know, you're a bodybuilder. So you understand the grind. You
Yeah.
understand the struggles of it.
Oh, yeah, man.
Hmm. I know
Got to
who I'm
keep
talking
got to
to.
keep it up.
Sure. Very important part of that. What is your favorite song to perform live with Surfers?
um now it's Lost Honor, because it feels like I used to be so nervous about that song, but now I'm like, I just feel such a confidence with it. Like there's power. I feel it's crazy because like uh Radigan's like, it's my favorite song you've ever written. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I get a little upset because
Yeah.
I'm like, out of every song I've written, this is the best one. But I understand it, you know, like, and I'm like, and it's not, it's not feeding into my ego, but I mean, like, it just makes me happy that he admires it, and the fact that he likes it a lot, that makes me happy. And then everyone else tells me how they love it, and I'm like, oh, this is great, you know. And I was like, is this gonna pop off? Is this gonna be like good? And then yeah, it's just like the reception of it, and just like seeing people move to it is like just so exciting to see. And I when I play it, I just feel like I'm on top of the world. Like it's like a battle, you know.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it's a good feeling.
I bet. How does it feel when kids are shouting at you on stage about your songs that you wrote in your bedroom? How does that feel?
Oh, it's great. I mean, especially with Freaks, like that's actually, I mean, we literally wrote that in like a basement and recorded that in a basement, and then we re-recorded at the Smell. But like, yeah, the fact that you know, kids are singing the songs, like even like Heather's, like whenever people are doing like the woes, it's like it's very nice, you know. It's like to have those fucking chants, you know, have those sing-alongs. It's like, oh hell yeah, we're doing it right because everyone's singing it, everyone's memorizing the lyrics. I was watching even like Alex G, like a live YouTube video popped up, and everyone was singing one of the. It's like a song. I was like, holy shit, everyone knows this one. I love this one, but I didn't know everyone else knew it, and it's the whole crowd just singing it. And I'm like, oh, that's so fucking powerful to see, and especially like his music, which is it's so huge and vast that like people are still like locked in even with the weird ones, and they could fucking sing all the lyrics. It's like that's so incredible to see.
He puts on a great show. He
Oh
really
yeah.
does. Yeah.
Oh, he's
Very,
king. He's the king.
very, very good stuff to listen to.
Oh yeah. Love him. I say he's. It's funny. I said it to Radigan. I thought he was gonna agree with me, but he doesn't. But I think he's the greatest like American modern like songwriter. For me,
That's hefty. That's
I
and
think he's. I
you're
think he's a
accounting for
fantastic.
fish.
I think he's like a fantastic lyricist. I think he's a fantastic musician. Like, and the way that he writes his songs are just always, always so intriguing.
So fish is second then? I don't I mean I just want to get the ranking in order. I just want to know. Because you're the
Yeah, it's
you're
like
always
Alex G, Insane Clown Posse, Fish.
all right.
Yeah.
It's pretty good top three.
Whoop whoop. Down with the clown, baby.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. What is the most rewarding part of making music for you?
The most rewarding. Well, it's two things. One, it's like getting it out there, like just getting out of your body and your mind, because there is such a drive for you to like, or for me at least, a drive to like need to say something. You know, like it has to come out. I know what I want to do. I know what I want to say. Like it needs to be this way. And the fact that like I can write it and get it done with, even if I don't release it, like that is the best thing. You know, it's just to do it and go through with it and be addicted to it and fall in love with it. And then the second thing is just putting it out there in the world, and like and going to shows and performing it and seeing it in people's faces to reciprocate like that emotion, you know. And you hope that it connects, and you hope that it speaks to them. You know, that's like the most rewarding thing, is just, you know, you spread the gospel of your own word, you know.
Spreading it, whether it be a cult, whether it be whatever it is.
Yeah.
What's what's the most challenging part for you? What's the most challenging aspect of creating music for you?
Well, it's really just getting it done. If I can't get it done, then I just feel like I wasted like my time. And also, it's hard for me to be like, you know, you gotta like live in order to write. If you're just doing nothing all the time, like, at best, like if you take in some sort of like art, you know, if you take in some sort of medium that is like that you can kind of relate to, and you're like living through that lens a little bit, it's almost like you're living life, and you just kind of take it and put in your own way. Uh, then that's good. But I mean, like, the best thing is just to take a break and just live your life and experience things, and then come back and you got stuff, you know. Because if you're doing nothing, then it's like, what are you really saying, you know? Unless you are writing a concept album about something, you know, then yeah, go for it.
They keep on doing that one thing.
But if
And
you want to, but if you want to be like personal, if you want to like, you know, say something you need to say, then that always comes with like, you know, time, and time is not always on your side.
says the guy with the Rolling Stones lighter. All right, dude.
Yep, there we go.
All right. Circling it all back, man. Do you prefer to perform in like smaller venues or larger audiences?
Smaller. Well, I hate playing festivals. We'll do them, of course. But it's there's such a disconnect from that. Like I love, and it's not being selfish. It's what I talked about earlier, where it's like you just all want to be in the moment together. It's like you're performing for them. They came to see you. You're giving your all, and then you're hoping that they can reciprocate it. And it's like when you uh you buy a ticket and you're excited to go to this show, and you have like this night plan where you're going to go see this artist or this band, you know, like that is like a memory in itself, you know, in a moment. And you're just like, wow, I'm going to this venue, I have something to look forward to. And you live that night, and all these things happen, and then you have that for the rest of your life. Maybe you do, maybe you don't, you know. As the artist, you hope for that. You hope that you can give that moment. But like with festivals, it's like you see so many people that like, and they're there because you either fit in the time slot, you're part of the day, you know, you're killing time, you're walking by. It's just like there's so many, you know, there's not when you're playing for all these people, you don't know if you're playing for the real heads. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Or if it's a passerby, or like whatever, or they're just there to hear freaks, you know, which is fine, which is all that is like fine and great, but it's like it feels more impactful, like as, you know, musician to the audience, where it is like in a venue, like an actual venue, whether it's in like small or big, as long as like that night is like for us and them, then it works. Like it's funny because like you think it's so it's so scary playing in front of like thousands and thousands of people, but it's scary to play for a room full of like 25 people. Because it goes,
Equally. Yeah.
I mean, like, because if you see like a vast amount of people, it's really hard for you to pinpoint or like find that connection, or like find that like, oh, I can see that this person is enjoying this, or I can see that they're waning off a little bit, you know.
A direct
And
line between you and someone, or you and the whole crowd.
yeah, and with festivals, it's like it's so vast and big. It's like it's almost like you're playing for ants, you know, where they all look the same. They're all ants. Not saying like a bunch of small fries, a sea of small fries in the crowd, but
Yeah, because I mean, because you would know out of all people,
oh yeah, yeah,
bodybuilder would know.
bodybuilder,
It's like,
6 foot
come on,
bodybuilder.
weaklings out there. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You know.
But yeah, it's yeah, I don't know. It's funny. It's just so funny to like, God, I mean, like playing in front of like a few hundred people is like always like that's when I start sweating, you know, because it's like you really can see everyone, and you could be like, that person just moved over there now throughout the set, and like, and you also there's something that was like a really big problem with like surfer shows, where people were just getting like fucking injured, like and you could see it, you know.
Mhm.
Like when we used to play the smell, it was always like someone had a fucking like bloody head, you know, like
Mhm.
someone was like someone was like crying because someone fucking like, you know, landed on him in the stage dive, like just like, and I don't know, just like it hasn't been as crazy as that since then, but it's like whenever you would really like see it, like the fucking like real violence in the crowd, it was always just like it always kind of like diminished like what we were doing, because like you want people to have fun, not beat the shit out of each other and like get hurt and like have that night be remembered as like this is when I got concussed like at the Surf Curse show, because I've definitely heard that before, and it's like, oh, I want someone to, you know, really enjoy the night instead of having it ruined because of like some motherfuckers, you know.
Right, right. You guys are gonna be like you guys are the new Black Flag, like 1984 kind of deal, just like fighting everybody, right? That's gonna be that's a new trajectory. It's just like constantly just fights breaking out.
Well, I like to think of us as like Sex Pistols turning into Pill, where it was like we're making all this like crazy fast paced music, and now it's like
Then the glasses were off for a second. We
I
saw.
know. Well, there's a fucking mouse that's been killing me. That's been in my fucking apartment.
Oh
I
boy,
keep
that's the
thinking it's like running
worst.
around. It's so annoying.
I'll keep an eye out. I'll keep an eye out.
Yeah, it doesn't. He doesn't really come over here, but he's mad annoying.
He scurries. He scurries. That's difficult to deal with.
I can't like get rid of him. He's outsmarted all my traps.
Sure.
I got.
I've heard many a tale of that happening.
Oh,
They're just too smart. These
it's really.
mice.
It literally set off a trap, and then I was like napping on the couch, and I heard a snap, thinking like, oh my god, it got killed. And I look up, and it's just like in my kitchen looking at me, alive, fine. And
Just
then
like look
and
at
then
you like betrayal. Like what the
and
heck,
then
man? Why are you
yeah,
trying to kill me?
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think it's like finally getting that. I tried using a humane trap, and it didn't take it. And I'm like, oh my god, I'm scared of like getting sick from this fucking thing, because you don't know what they bring in,
You really don't.
which is sad because it's so cute.
Bubonic plague was like that, but it wasn't the mice. It was the fleas, as
Yeah,
everybody knows. Yeah, that's
exactly. And I'm hoping that,
common.
and that's the thing too, is like I hope it's like, yeah, it's just like I gotta get it out of here. And I like try it every like, well, I gotta try some more things, but I
You got a whole list. There's a laundry list of ways to deal with it.
yeah,
You're running through it.
it just keeps fucking like going through my stuff and like keeping me up at night because I just hear it squirting around, and like hoping it's like not getting in my cabinets or whatever.
Yeah.
He's real menace, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, I would equate that quality towards mice as being menaces. I think that's apt to say.
I it's just it's like my whole I just I like did not want to like have it be dead. I want it to live because it's
Mhm.
like it just exists. It just lives. It lives in, they don't, you know, they just are adapting to their environment, and they need shelter, and then it just so happens to be my apartment, and it's just
Your
trying to
shelter. Yeah.
it's just trying to survive. So I'm like, I get that, but like not here, little guy. I need to get you out of here. But
Mhm.
then it's like, okay, but you're not leaving, and who knows what the fuck you're doing to like my place now. So like, you gotta go,
Mhm.
and that means, but it's gonna survive no matter what, I think, because it's way too fucking smart now.
That's a doozy. That's a doozy, Jacob. I'm
It
sorry. I'm
makes me
sorry you're
feel
dealing with that.
it makes me feel bad, honestly. Like I am just kind of really stressed out by it because I'm like, I like really don't like killing anything at all, and especially like a furry little guy like that. I'm like it's my nightmare.
Sure.
I've like have been so good about like not spilling things in my apartment, not eating in my living room, you know. And I've been here for like 2 years now, and or no, just a year, I think. But yeah, it's just like
It's a
now it
dilemma.
happened.
It's a
Yeah,
dilemma, man.
it's a
Yeah.
dilemma.
I'm sorry. sorry you're dealing with that.
It's okay. It's okay.
It's difficult. I wanted to ask you this as well. How did Travis Barker and end up remixing
Uh,
rather the drums
it's
for
fucking
Freaks?
uh it's just Atlantic. They wanted to do a whole remix like Freaks EP or album or something. And they listed off all these people and it was like 100 gex and I was like, yeah, that would be cool. That'd be interesting. Uh just like we just made like a whole list with the label and then Travis Barker was one of them and then he was the only one. but like my that EP it's like the best one is like the Brutus one and that's our buddy who did it and it's like so genuine and sweet. He like has this like sample of like of a recording that he had on his phone of like him and Nick talking, like Brad and talking. I was like, and I heard it and I was just like, I this is better than the fucking Travis Barker one. Like talking about it because it's like, when it's weird because it's like we've always been like this indie band and always done our own thing and worked with people that like we wanted to work with that we trusted because we got fucked over when we were younger. Like there, so it's like we really just wanted to do everything on our own because we can only trust ourselves with everything. So like having the opportunity to be a part of like a major label and it's like, oh, everything is gonna fucking happen now, and it's like things happen if they can, or if things happen, but you don't force them or whatever. You know what I mean?
Sure.
It's like they really wanted to keep pushing Freaks in every single way that they possibly could, so they kept wanting to like um push it for the radio and do remixes and keep it going. But it's like uh, it's why it's why the song blew up in the first place. It's like things just happen. There wasn't like, oh, we were industry plants. Oh, like this person was featured on this song or this was in this movie or whatever. It's just like during the pandemic, things caught up. Like and people were on their phones and they were on TikToks and I kept hearing and seeing that song because some fucking himbos were posting about it, and it just caught on. And
Sure.
and the song is great, and I love the song, and I'm so happy that people can like uh connect with it and feel something from it. Like a song that's like 10 years old, which is so insane for like a 10-year-old song to like be put on the radio again. That's like kind of unheard of. It's kind of like whenever fucking Fleetwood Mac came back on the radio, where it's like it's like resurgence again.
So you're the new Fleetwood Mac. Yes.
Oh, well,
I'm saying it here. This is breaking news. Sir Chris.
we're just riding. We just rode the fucking TikTok algorithm train.
You just riding waves. Your island life.
No, but
Yeah.
it's like it's I like talking about this stuff because it's like it's good to be transparent about like not thinking that we have these like big egos now. We live like these lavish lives. Like it's still like such hard work, and everything that we do is being put into like the music and like the fan service of like doing these tours and making merch and like and playing these like every time we play Europe, it's like we lose money. We don't like we can play sold out shows, we still lose money because of all the fucking travel and expenses. Like Europe is so
Sure.
expensive.
I mean, you live with the mouse right now. All right. I mean,
Yeah,
these are the things that happen.
these are the things that happen. Yeah. But it's worth it because we're going out and we're playing for people that care about the music, and we care about them for caring about the music, and we just want we're just gonna keep the party going. But it's nice to, I don't know, it's just like the cool thing about being signed is being able to like do a lot of things creatively that we've always wanted to do.
Sure.
Like Nick just made the Sugar music video cost a lot, but we were being very temperamental about the budget. The TVI music video is like I wanted to make something very low budget. It was like we put the money towards like getting a crazy spot and then just doing something like on a low budget scale, and then
You
that
got the
worked
green
out.
screen in there though. That was not a
That
that's
was no, that's what I mean.
expensive.
It's like everything was cheap except for the places that we were filming at. So that's
Sure.
where all the money went to.
Sure.
But then but Radigan was like, I want to go big with this next one, and it looks like this next music video is gonna look incredible for this song called Self Portrait. But yeah, it's like it's like on film, dolly,
Ooh.
like fucking dolly shots, like
Hmm.
fucking like all of it, like, and it looks good as hell. I didn't go to the set. I've only seen like clips of it, and it's fucking nuts,
That's
but
awesome.
and it's like it's worth it to just be like, fuck it, we'll spend the money on doing these like bigger things that are going to be interesting and like hopefully like have a lasting impression on
Sure.
people, have them come back and keep watching them
It's
and listen to the songs.
beautiful. And
Yeah.
the singles that are out now will be linked beneath things so you can catch all of it. And the new one sounds amazing. And that's gonna be great.
Oh,
And that
yeah.
when that comes out before the album, which would be fantastic. Do you have a favorite Surf Curse album?
This it's either this new one or nothing yet. Yeah, I love Heaven Surrounds You, but I like I love the fun that we had on Nothing Yet, and just like that was like our first time where we're like, we gotta be more than fucking sad boys and fucking buds. Like we
Yeah,
gotta,
you guys are the anthem for the sad boy hour. I keep on seeing this. It's sad boy hour. It's always freaks.
yeah. It's like, well, let's change it up a little bit, and we did, which was like nice. It was like it's it's the album that was like everything that we did conceptually was like our own, and we recorded with a friend, and then Nick ended up like kind of taking over at the end of like mixing and producing it. And it was just like a lot of fun. We just drive out to the valley like an hour away and just go record these songs and then come back, go back to the valley, every single day, and like just be excited. And we were like recording in like a guy's like fucking room. It was insane.
Bring
But
it
it
back
was
to the roots.
but it was fun. Yeah. I mean, yeah, we recorded with that guy at the Smell. His name's Andrew McKelvey. Lovely guy. uh we recorded those first two at the Smell, and then we recorded in his room. and uh and it sounded good. It's really hard for me to like listen to these like albums again,
Mhm.
because I'm always like, oh Jesus, this is what this sounds like. So I tend to like not go back to them. But like that one was really fun, and like I mean they've all have been fun, but I mean like I always think about like the experience of making them, like the way I live through these songs is like it's making the songs and recording them, and then it's playing them live, and like that whole, oh, it's an album and I get to listen to this album, like I can't really do anymore because it's like, all right, it's done. I got to go play these songs, so there's never really like, oh, I'm gonna sit back and listen to this again.
Yeah. Yeah, sure. Yeah, that I love the albums. It's great. Nothing Yet was great.
Yeah, man, and this new album is like fucking stellar. I'm so excited.
The singles are amazing, and I can't wait for the new one. And this next
People
one
are liking it,
is
which is cool. Which
I,
is
I've seen the comments, man.
it
They
and
are loving it.
and the album is just only gonna get crazier. Like there's so many insane songs on there that are like a little bit different, a little bit familiar. We have like this like crazy like Sonic Youth ass song that is like, it's like the beginning of it is just like fucking saxophone blaring, like kind of like
Ooh,
New York fucking like 70s like no wave, just crazy saxophone, and it's like I think it's like 9 minutes long or something. It's like the longest Surf Curse song.
wow.
Yeah.
This would be
And
interesting to listen to for
that's
sure.
what, it's just like it's just so diverse with the sounds of everything. It's like you could kind of it's like it's like a love letter to fucking rock music from us. We're just like we just took all the things that we loved and like put it in one album. So it's like 70s elements, 90s elements, like more modern stuff, like the same Surf Curse vibes, you know, but just amped up, better
Awesome.
production.
That's killer.
Yeah.
Jacob, thank you so much for sitting down with me, man, and chatting. I really do appreciate it.
Jacob, it's a pleasure, man.
And I'm so excited that you were the 100th one. It only took you 80 something to come back on. 81, I think, to come back on. I got to have you on more recently than that, okay? And more quicker succession than that. It's always a pleasure chatting with you.
No, it's such a pleasure talking with you.
And before
share moments, bud.
I do too, and I'm excited for the next one. But don't go anywhere yet because I got some promo. We got to plug this stuff.
All
Magic Hour. New album coming out. Was it the September 16th? Do I have that correct?
I think so.
Yeah, September 16th. We're gonna go with that. September 16th. Be sure to go and you can pre-save the album and save the link and all that. And that is found at surfcurse.com, along with a bunch of merch. CDs and shirts are there right now, and it's gonna be fantastic when the album drops. It's gonna be really, really good. Right.
Yeah, we're in talks of getting vinyl too, which is kind of insane.
Ooh, that's
It might happen, it might not. The record plant industry is pretty fucked because there's only a few left in this country. So
yeah,
everyone wants that sweet vinyl, but they gotta wait a year.
So just stay hungry for it. And I know if I know anything from your fans, they like to really hold on to stuff and cherish it until the next one comes out. Whenever that happens. Yeah.
Oh yeah, some of those big joy tapes on Discogs, man. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Fucking yeah. Like fucking I've seen some like Surf Curse shit go for like $600. It's absolutely insane.
You know, I have that here. I can sell it to you for at least $550. I'll only go for $550. You know, you're saving $50.
My grandma has all of like every like Surf Curse thing.
That's awesome, dude.
I've kind of like I like purposely gave it to her just so she can like hold on to it just in case, like, you know, because I'm either gonna. Back in the day, I would sell my own shit.
Well, that's what you gotta do. You gotta make ends meet.
Or give it to somewhere like, you know, donate it or whatever to like a record store or whatever. But yeah, I was like, okay, she's got to be like the placeholder. They also have like my gold record up in their place too. That's
awesome.
I got to shit to them. I didn't want it in my fucking place. I'm like, I'm good on that.
Yeah,
I don't need a.
You hang up the next one. Yeah, not the first one.
Actually, Nick has my. Wait. Yeah, we went platinum. No, so my family has the platinum one. Nick has my gold one that he needs to give to me. It's just sitting at his place. I don't want it. I don't want it though. I don't need it.
He hung it up. He's like, no, I knew you wouldn't, so I will. He just has it up on his wall. That's all. That's really awesome that you give all your stuff to your grandma. That's really special. That's awesome. Yeah. Good stuff. But before the album is released, you can go back and listen to all the other releases on all streaming platforms. They're everywhere. They're big. Open up any social media. They're there. They're waiting for you. It's gonna be spectacular. Go listen to Freaks. It's a great fucking song. But let's get some other songs in the rotation. What would you like the people to blow up next? Like, what song do you think needs more recognition than it has?
What, as any Surf Curse song?
No,
or any Magic?
Any Surf Curse song. I think I say any song ever. I was like, no, your songs.
I meant out of our discography, but
yeah.
I don't know. I don't think anything needs to blow up. It's better just for things to just exist, you know. I just want people to find a song they can connect to and call their own. That's what I want more than anything.
I would like a new platinum record up on a wall. So
wait, which one would you want?
I like Christina F. I really do. I've been re-listening to it, preparing for this, and I think that's an amazing song. I used to play it when I like my bass drum would go out, and I only had like the floor tom and the snare and like a cymbal, and I'd just be like just playing it because like there's only like a limited amount that you could do. And I was like, all right, cool. Yeah, so Yeah. I like that song a lot. That holds something for me. And yeah. So
Oh,
Christine
that makes
F.
me happy. I love
Yeah.
that. Hell yeah.
I love getting the question. Ooh, wasn't ready for it, but I guess I was subconsciously.
Yeah, I think the next time we talk, we should just ask each other questions,
Yeah, that'll be good. And it's not gonna happen
or we just tell
2 years from
stories or
there.
whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's gonna be the next one. So be on the lookout for that. But before then, stay up to date with news, tour, all that fun stuff. Surf Curse on Instagram. That's the best place, right? For news and
Oh yeah.
whatnot. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. And yeah, do we get everything? You're streaming everywhere. I don't know if I said
Streaming
that, but
everywhere. Yeah.
yeah, whatever you use,
No, you did a great job. It's a great plug.
I appreciate it. 100th one. Thank you so much, Jacob. I appreciate it, sir.
Jacob, thank you.
I'm gonna stop recording this. Thank you. I'll see you before the other 100th one. All right.
All right.
All right.
Thanks,
Thank you,
bud.
man.